For this month of Trevor's Book Club, we will be reviewing Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. A book so good I've not only read it 3 times, but I own 2 copies of it. Thanks to my aunt for sending me the 1 copy for a gift. Trevor Noah's Born a Crime is the literary debut and autobiography of Trevor Noah, a comedian from South Africa, who is on the Daily Show now for the past couple of years. I really enjoy Trevor Noah's work on the Daily Show, and so when this book came out, I bought it, and then later on I got this second copy as a gift. And I've read it 3 times, as I've said, and I really do enjoy the book. It starts off, and he dedicates the book to his mother. The book is an autobiography about Trevor Noah, but it also is a lot like a book dedicated to his mother. It's like a rap song dedicated to his mother. You know, like every rapper has a song dedicated to their mother usually, but that's basically what his book is. A lot of the chapters go back to something his mom taught him or something like that, or it has to do with his mom. There's only a few chapters that don't have anything to do with her. There's 3 different parts to it, and you know, basically each part he kind of gets older in most of the story of his life. But it starts off, and in the first couple pages it shows the law in South Africa that made it illegal for a person of color to be with a white person. So that's where they get the name from, Born a Crime, because technically he was illegal in South Africa's apartheid when he was born. So he has a unique perspective, and throughout the book he talks about it. Before each chapter there's a little intro. It's usually about just something he observed or something to do with South Africa. And my favorite one is the one in front of the chapter 12. And the intro to chapter 12 is this: I don't regret anything I've ever done in life, any choice that I've made, but I'm consumed with regret for the things I didn't do, the choices I didn't make, the things I didn't say. We spend so much time being afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, but regret is the thing we should fear most. Failure is an answer. Rejection is an answer. Regret is an eternal question you will never have the answer to. What if only, I wonder what would have. You will never know, and it will haunt you for the rest of your days. That spoke to me as someone who kind of has regrets, I guess. And then one of the things he hits upon in his book is not only just his perspectives on race, being half black and half white in South Africa, but he talks a lot about how knowing multiple languages is a good thing, which I thought was interesting, and I think it's a good thing. I think we should all try and learn more than one language. But Trevor Noah knows quite a few different languages, and one of my favorite stories about him using his multilingualism to his advantage is this, from the chapter entitled Chameleon. One day as a young man, I was walking down the street and a group of Zulu guys was walking behind me, closing in on me, and I could hear them talking to one another about how they were going to mug me. Let's get this white guy. You go to his left and I'll come up behind. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't run, so I just spun around real quick and said, Yo guys, why don't we just mug someone together? I'm ready. Let's do it. They looked shocked for a moment, and then they started laughing. Oh, sorry dude. We thought you were something else. We weren't trying to take anything from you. We were trying to steal from white people. Have a good day, man. They were ready to do me violent harm until they felt we were part of the same tribe, and then we were cool. That and so many other small incidents in my life made me realize that language, even more than color, defines who you are to people. That's just an example of, a short passage in the book. But there's a lot of, funny stories because he's a comedian, and then there's more serious stories too. But I'd say that out of the funny stories, the best chapter is, I think it's entitled Trevor Pray, and that one's really funny because it's just hilarious. And then the last chapter is about his mom and his stepdad, who was abusive to him and his mother. It's a pretty emotional chapter, I guess. But it ends, with the mom making a miraculous recovery from being shot. But this is a really good book. I feel like you can really hear Trevor Noah's voice. It's like you're listening to him on the Daily Show. Like you can tell that he wrote it. I feel like, at least, or yeah, I feel like you can really hear his voice coming through the pages. I think it's well written, and out of all the books I've reviewed so far, I would say this is probably my favorite. I mean, I've read it the most. I would highly recommend it to read it. There are swear words in it. I mean, some people might not want to read a book with swear words, but there are some. But he's a comedian, so what do you expect? That's the only thing I could think of why someone might not like it. But it's a really good book, and I found it interesting to hear about, to learn, well, not to learn, I guess, to hear more about South Africa, a place that you really don't hear much about when you're going in school. You just know that apartheid was there, Nelson Mandela, basically. But I found it interesting to hear about another part of the world, and I think Trevor Noah did a really good job with his autobiography, Born a Crime, and I would recommend, if you have time, go into the library, check it out, read it. If you want to buy it, I would highly recommend buying it. It's worth it. I've read it 3 times, and I enjoyed it each time. You see something new when you read it again, and then let someone else borrow it so they can read it. I felt it was really good. A lot of funny stories. Just a great book overall. And he had it, and at the end of the book, he hasn't even started working for the Daily Show, so he could write another one about his time being on the Daily Show, I guess. And I would read it to see how things went with the rest of his life. But it's a really good book, and at one point, I think it was when Lupita Nyong'o was promoting Us, she was on the Daily Show, and they said that Lupita Nyong'o was going to play his mom in a movie adaptation of Born a Crime, and I would watch the movie, but I would recommend reading the book first. In most cases, I'd probably always say read the book. See the original, read the original before watching the movie. But I haven't heard anything more about that movie since COVID happened. So, but yeah, this is a really good book. I would highly recommend it. I would say if you like the Daily Show, buy it. If you're not for sure who Trevor Noah is, go check it out at the library, and I'm sure you'll find something interesting in